let's move on to our second place winner, which goes to Dana Hursey for A Day in the Park. Dana is a first-time participant from the Los Angeles area, and he has another photo in the exhibit. Dana, I have to say, this is such a captivating photo. I'd love to know what they're laughing about. So tell us a little bit about yourself and then your photograph, please.
Thank you so much for allowing me to participate both in the competition and in this exhibition this evening. It's hard to follow such a heartfult story from Juliana. That's like, oh my God.
No, that was something, beautiful. Wasn't it?
It was really beautiful. My particular image that's shown here is part of a documentary series that I was fortunate to be part of called 14 Days in Great Britain. And in this documentary series, the participants, I was one of two still photographers, and then there was a video crew. And we literally traveled the length and breadth of the UK in 14 days. We did 14 cities in 14 days.
Oh my.
And during that period, there was a studio photographer that was shooting very Avedon-esque photographs against a white seamless. And my charge was to go out into each city that we were shooting in and shoot more editorial environmental portraits of the inhabitants of that city that we could run into. This particular shot was when we were in Newcastle, and we were wandering around a park, and the whole journey for me was a very challenging journey. It really kind of pushed my boundaries of comfort to be, I consider myself very much a commercial photographer. And so doing a more street photography, photojournalistic journey was very challenging for me. But this particular couple, we happened upon them and they were simply having their afternoon lunch on the park bench. And so we engaged with them, and it was just really casual conversation. We always started every very quick photo session with telling them what we were up to, what the goal of the documentary project was, and then asked if they would be okay if we took a few photographs of them. And so this moment was really their banter back and forth, and it really speaks to a lot of people because it is so genuine. They were genuinely laughing at each other and just enjoying their afternoon in the park, having their lunch. So it was a really wonderful captured moment. And we were really fortunate throughout this journey to have, I personally shot over 650 different individuals through the course of the documentary. And the thing that I found really genuinely surprising was the generosity of everybody that we encountered. Through the course of the 14 days, I think I got maybe 3 no's when we asked if we could take people's portraits, which I found astounding. And so I had a lot of really amazing magical moments, even though it was a super stressful trip because we would shoot all day, travel to the next city that night, get up the next morning and do it again for 14 days in a row. So it was rather exhausting, both physically and emotionally, to encounter all these people and realize you'd probably never see them again, never encounter them again. But their generosity of sharing their time was amazing for me.
So tell me about the goal of this program. You don't hear, or this project, you don't hear often about a 14 days of doing photography day after day. What was the goal of the program?
This the producer of this project had actually I think 2 years prior done a 14 days in America. And then we happened upon each other through business purposes, and he asked me to join the Great Britain trip. And the goal of the trip was both still and motion. The motion portion of the trip, they were doing the same thing, pulling people just off the street, taking them into an isolated environment and asking them the same 10 questions. And those questions really kind of took each interviewee on an emotional roller coaster. And the goal of the project at the end of the day was to really illustrate that regardless of your socioeconomic background, where you lived, what you did for a living, we are all at the root the same. It was amazing that as these people were isolated and asked the same questions, the same answers kept coming up. And so it really was a journey about, again, regardless of your background, all of our hopes and dreams and wishes end up really being the same.
That's wonderful. One of the things I like about this photograph is that this looks like this couple has been together for a long time and they feel
Yes.
comfortable with one another and also just still happy, you know, as they age. It's really delightful just to see them both laughing and giggling here. It's fantastic. So well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure, sure.